Ishowspeed's stream manager and also cameraman, who is also his producer, Slipz, hinted that Speed spent close to 20 million US dollars in his Speed Does Africa tour. And the money went to several parts in ensuring that the tour is successful. From the highlight here, it said most of the monies went to hiring the private jet that Speed used to traverse across the 20 countries he visited within those 30 days he was here. Transport, that is, and then the equipment. Speed's equipment are super expensive, and the fact that he's able to IRL stream in the most difficult of the interior parts of Africa, that just shows that he had to go for the best cameras, filming equipment in the world, from the video production to sound production to the internet as well, where a lot of money was spent on the Starlink, and then the accommodation for his team, and then his security, and then also linking up with people on ground for each and every country he went to. Those 20 countries, Speed spent almost 20 billion US dollars. And Speed actually jetted in Africa with 13 people that were with him. Because at first, he was supposed to actually visit Namibia first. Was it Angola and then Namibia? After South Africa. After South Africa, it was to be Namibia and then Angola. And so it turned out that, Angola did not allow Speed to jet in their country with them. Private jet. According to one of, I think it was also Namibia and Zambia, where they said their federal aviation rules do not allow somebody to just, person to just, especially if it's a foreign or a diplomat, to just jet like that into their country. According to the, I believe, the military airbase rules and aviation, I believe Federation of something aviation, that they have to like have communication, let's say maybe a month earlier or several weeks earlier before they're allowed to jet into the country. And that's why Speed had to do all these other countries. Two of these other countries, IRL streamed in them, and then Namibia was actually the last on his list. So that again just shows you that this guy has had to put in a lot of work. Like, his team is a powerhouse, from ensuring that the itineraries and the entries and the bookings, the visas of these countries are already prepared. That money, I believe that money could be more. The number could be more, because 13 people on ground in a private jet, and then hiring the cars that he uses on ground, and then speaking to the fixers, and then the accommodation part, and then the security. And it's not like just a security of one. He has several security details. The one that he is working with, the one that should protect him whenever he gets to the next location, and then also the cars. The cars is not like one entourage, it's like several. It could be like 5 or 6 cars, and then security, and then on the other location, the next location he's going to, there's another security detail. So Speed had actually a well planned out masterpiece for his Speed Does Africa tour. And I'm not surprised Slipz is actually hinting that they spent 20 million US dollars plus. Ishowspeed's, if you Google, actually, Google tells you that Ishowspeed's net worth is 30 to around 50 million US dollars. I believe it's more. Even with 2026. I believe his net worth has expanded massively. So Speed could be almost clocking 100 plus million in terms of his net worth. I don't know some of the properties he owns, but most of these American YouTubers, most of them have invested in crypto, and most of them actually have this brand deals that they keep on spazzing the renewals and the monetary benefits and the partnerships and the collaboration. They keep on making a lot of money for them. Apart from the streams, Speed is not on Kick. Is he on Kick really? I know he's on Twitch. I follow him on Twitch, but I've not seen these other stream collaborations. But one thing I can validate is that he's partnered with YouTube. Speed even met the YouTube CEO. He even became CEO of YouTube for a day. So that just shows you that this guy is on a good payroll. But that's not even enough, I'm sure. It's not even enough. The YouTube payroll, I'm sure it means nothing for Speed. These other brands. But I'd recommend if Speed was to actually branch out he can venture into things like investing in Africa. He should maybe buy land. Land would be the most appropriate thing for Speed to buy in Africa. Buy land and then buy indigenous seeds, indigenous crops, stock them up, indigenous medicines, traditional herbs. He should have like some sort of like a preservation center where they're grown, bred, and they're sold to the United States. Traditional medicine from the roots, the food stuff. He would be a billionaire for that. And you've seen what Bill Gates did. Just tapping into the indigenous space, other than like buying a house in Africa. Just buy land, build, and start farming. Do this indigenous crop. And for Spirit, it will spaz out of control. Anyways, that was incredible. 20M.